Hi guys, it's Jen here, doing my weekly Project Life share. I hope you guys don't mind. This week has been really busy. I had to do another Project Life, two Project Lives last week, or this week I guess, because I was also on the Crafty Maven Getaway YouTube channel. If you haven't checked that out, please do. I'll link it below. And then I also am today back up on the Crafty Maven Getaway channel for Spotlight Sunday, which is where we basically spotlight ourselves. We talk about us, we talk about you know, our style, show some of our favorite layouts, give you a look at our craft area maybe, things like that. I'm still working on that one, but I knew that because I didn't have any photos printed ready for my Project Life, that it wasn't going to happen. And so I thought, instead of just not doing a video, that I would actually show you all of my Project Life that I've done this year up until now. So I hope that that is a good substitute for this week. And then I will be back next week carrying on into July. So let's just get started. This is the week of January the 5th to the 11th. I meant to actually go back and pull the first week, which crosses over. So if you haven't watched my videos before or heard me talk about this, what I do is not week 1, week 2, week 3. I do Sunday to Saturday each week, or I guess Monday to Sunday, I should say. Let me start again. I do Monday to Sunday. And I just put the week of and the date, because to me personally, the date means more than week 2 or week 21. I don't even know what that, to me that doesn't mean much, whereas the date means more because I know, you know, maybe that birthdays fall in that time range or anniversaries or something else. And then if I'm going back and looking, I can say, oh, well, you know, this week in April, I flew up to meet my new niece, rather than, you know, it was week 23. So anyways, that's why I do that. I also do, if you're not familiar with me, just one 12 by 12 spread. And right now I'm exclusively doing design A's because I just find that makes my process go really fast. I know exactly how many photos I'm going to need or how many I can go up to. And then, I don't know, it just makes my process easier. I know that I've got, you know, these larger 4x6s, the 3x4s, and it just helps my process quite a bit. So let's get started with looking at them. So this is the first week. On the back of this is actually the front of my album, because I put the week that crossed over between December and January in my 2014 album. It just fit there so that I didn't have a blank spot. I don't like this at all. As you can see, I never wrote in it like I was going to. So I'm going to change that up. It's not doing anything for me. So this is the first week of January. It was a relatively quiet week. And when that happens, I just like to use photos that kind of just talks about that. So, you know, we put away all our Christmas decorations and I took a photo because it was kind of nice and sad to have our living room sort of back to normal and back to the blue and green that it typically is instead of all the red and stuff. I just started doing YouTube videos, so I took a picture of my setup. We'd gone for a walk. We were still getting hummingbirds at our feeder, which was crazy because it's January, and my husband was home from work, and so he was doing some work from home at his desk. So this is the next week of January. It was rainy outside. Took a photo of some chili I was making and just thought it was pretty. I found some shoes. I was doing a whole bunch of purging, I remember. So just looking at those shoes reminds me of that. I just felt like I was doing cleaning. We put away all the Christmas decorations and I just started cleaning and purging. Did my nails. Got a new game for Christmas. We finally played it. Kids started term 2 for their schoolwork. So just little things like that are what go into my Project Life. I like to keep it sort of everyday things, and then what I do is I do layouts if I have other photos that I want to highlight. So here's the next week. My kids were watching videos about ancient Egypt together, And they had themselves all set up. They had their lunch and they got stuffies and a blanket. It was cute. Making pizza. Got a photo of my husband's office because he got a standing desk. And then me working on videos again, some more. So here we are into February. Yes, those are pictures of daffodils. Here on the west coast of BC, we have very, very mild climate, and so it very rarely dips below 0 Celsius, so freezing point. We very rarely get snow, and if we do, it's a very small amount. So there was actually daffodils at the university where my husband works. Again, a quieter week. It was raining quite a bit. We got one walk out along the lake close to our house. I, did my nails again, and I was watching scrapbooking YouTube videos while I was doing it. And I was doing some purging and cleaning downstairs in my scrapbook room. And so I took a picture of the hallway with all my stuff laid out, and then a picture of it all put away, and had got a 5-drawer unit from Michael's at 50% off that I put it all in. So I put a picture of that in here. And then again, another photo of me. I was doing crop prep that I didn't end up being able to. Sorry guys, my phone rang and it cut off my video. It's super annoying. Yeah, so as I was saying, this was crop prep I was working on, so it was spread out all over the place. Didn't end up going to the crop because I got really sick, just with a cold. And then another photo here of my kids sitting and reading while they were eating their lunch. First week of February, cold that I had, the kids then got. So I took some photos of their sad little faces. I made quiche for the first time. I don't and can't eat wheat anymore, and so this has actually had sliced up sweet potato as the crust. It was really, really good, and I still make this quite a bit. This one says that I'm still sick with a cold and that I stopped and got some tea at David's Tea, which is Canadian, I believe. And it helped because I had to sit at gymnastics, and so drinking the tea at least made me feel slightly less miserable. Took the kids for some frozen yogurt, went for a walk outside, it wasn't raining, and then my older son had done this very good job on this giant pyramid where you can actually look inside, and he used Lego to build all of the tunnels in there. They did a really good job on that. So let's see here. This is opening day. Yes, I know it's February. It's opening day for the outside fish and chip place. It only closes for a few months during the worst of the weather. So we were there for opening day. This place is really awesome. It was actually featured on like a Food Network show. And yes, the lineup is like that. That's about 45-minute long lineup. It is totally worth waiting for. It's all fresh, really, really good. Here's a picture of me doing Project Life at the library while my son was at chemistry at his school. Here's my kids taking second helpings of something, and I had made Valentine's Day pizzas for everybody. Some science experiments, and then this is an everyday thing, crazy, insane lineups at Costco, right? We can all relate with the insanity of that. So I'd actually just set my phone on the cart and just snapped a picture of everybody else with the same face as me going, ugh, yuck. So here we are getting close to the end of February. Went for a walk. It was beautiful sunny day. My kids have taken off their hoodies. It really wasn't that warm, but it was really nice. Some chocolate, a drive home from gymnastics, and there was a beautiful sunset, so I took a photo of that because that drive back and forth can be tedious, so it's nice to find the nice things and things like that. Photo of my son. We were waiting for my other son at a class, and so we were sitting at a Starbucks together. It was a sunny day here, so my husband and I went to our coffee spot and sat and chatted together, and then just took another photo of me doing some layouts. So this is into March. My husband took a photo on the ferry. He'd gone over to Vancouver for a meeting. My older son, we were sick again. Ugh, stupid viruses. And I have this essential oil stuff in a carrier oil that I use, and I rolled it on my son, and he had this huge allergic reaction. So obviously something in there he can't handle. My husband got a new monitor at work. It's like enormous. Like I can't even show you with my hands how big this thing is. It's like one of those new curved ones. He loves it, so I took a photo of it. my younger son cutting up our Friday pizza, me cleaning. I tend to clean when, you know, things are not 100% for me, or I'm worrying about something or whatever. And in this one, my husband was going to be away for a week, and it's kind of gloomy outside, and I was just kind of, you know, you kind of change up your routine when somebody's away. And so I cleaned, and that usually sort of lets me get over myself and move on to just living life and dealing. So this is the beginning of March. Here's my husband, a picture of the conference that he was at. He was in Arizona. And would you believe it? No kidding. The day after he left, Becky Higgins had one of those, you know, where they put the core kits that she signed, I think. They put them out. No kidding. The day after he flew home, they had it at the friggin' resort that he was staying at. Day after. Like, seriously, I would have died. And he seriously would have jumped up out of anything, and he would have run out there and got it for me. Day after. Not kidding. It's okay. I'm over it. It's good. I'm fine. Here's another picture of my hummingbird feeder. There's actually 5 hummingbirds at it, so it was really cool. As I said, kiddos are sick again. They like to do dominoes. Like, we couldn't just be sick at the same time. So my older son was sick the week before. Now my younger son is sick, and he actually fell asleep on the couch after lunch. So schoolwork wasn't happening that day. I did some St. Patrick's Day nails. My older son built a replica of a Greek ship for his humanities class. So we were homeschooling this past school year. That's why there's all these projects in here that we're working on at home. And here's a photo. When my husband got back, we went to our coffee spot together. Oh, this one's so pretty. This was actually a hip kit, I believe. I really like the cards. I think they're from Evalicious. So this week was spring break, and my kids were in a week-long basketball camp. And so if anybody's been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that my husband and I had date night every night of the basketball camp. And so they were at the basketball camp, and we were on date night. So that was pretty awesome. We were watching all of the Austin Powers movies, which probably are not all that appropriate for my kids to watch, but funny. And we noticed that in the second one, Dr. Evil's headquarters was the Space Needle in Seattle, and it has Starbucks across it. We just thought that was hilarious because we live pretty close to Seattle. Just a pretty photo of my backyard. Everything's starting to green up and pink up. There's a pink tree that you probably can't see there, and then a nice sun flare. Paul went for a hike, my husband, and took this nice photo, and then we went for a nice walk along the ocean together on one of our dates. March, St. Patrick's Day, I made green eggs. So basically what I did is I dumped the eggs and spinach in the blender and pureed it, and then just made scrambled eggs. It looks really cool. My husband was out for a meeting, and he got this really insane loaded poutine and took a photo of it. It's insane. It was like a $50 plate of poutine. It was huge though, but it had like every topping you could put on it. It was just nuts. Again, some photos of my insane scrap room that I finally cleaned up. Talking about the fact that it's spring break. Met somebody from Vancouver. We went for a walk together and out for lunch. We went out for dinner with our friends. Oh, there's one I'll have to fix. Took the kids to the pool, and they had a gymnastics camp because this is still spring break. It was 2 weeks. And took some photo of the pretty green because spring is definitely coming here. So my niece was born. This is my third niece, second niece to this family. And her middle name is Jennifer, which made me cry, which embarrassed the heck out of my brother. But seriously, he named his baby with my name. Like, come on, that's pretty awesome. So that's a photo of her. And then I actually went and I got stuck in Vancouver. My flight didn't make it up to their house. So she was born in the night, and then I was there the next morning. So I got to meet her pretty darn new. And then I stayed for a few days and, you know, helped out, and I cleaned the house and made some food and helped with their older daughter. Or at least I hope I helped. And so while I was away, I got some photos of the stuff the kids were doing with my husband. They did some experiments. And right before I left, my older son got a medal at gymnastics. So this week I'm still there, sort of a crossover with the weekend. So brought the baby home. It's a photo of me holding her before I left. The city that they live is where we used to live, and one of the things I miss the most about that city is one of the Vietnamese restaurants. So I actually got that as takeout on the way to the airport and ate it before I went through security. It was so good. Some pictures of the tulips on a walk, and then my husband went for a hike with his brother. This is leading into Easter, and took some photos. And then this is some pictures of my older son and my oldest niece from another family on their Easter egg hunt. And then of course there's layouts that go along with that. Now we're into April. It's a photo of my son at the beach that my husband took, which I thought was really great. He was just standing there sort of contemplating the ocean, which is what I love to do. I had a Frappuccino, probably the first of the season. I was kind of recovering from being away, and we'd had company like the day after I got back from being away. So I was just talking about how I was kind of recovering. It's a photo of our espresso machine that we sold, and it was kind of like the story is that we had a Keurig machine and it died, and we decided instead of to replace that, we would get an espresso, which meant we didn't need an espresso machine, but also meant we went from having 2 huge machines to 1 small machine. So little things like that I'd like to capture. So here it is in here. Here's us sitting outside, not really quite warm enough to be outside in the evening, so we have our patio heater. Another science experiment that involves Oreos, always nice. And here's some photos from some walks that we did on the weekend. So as you can see, I don't use just one core kit. A lot of these are scraps or collections that I've got, or Project Life kits from kit clubs. So I just want to point out that's why they're all different. And these are not all side by side in my layouts, or sorry, side by side in my albums. There's usually layouts put in there. And so a lot of the times what I would do is use the scraps from my scrapbook kits to do these weeks. And so then sometimes the layouts will actually match the Project Life just because they're using the same kit. So I just wanted to point out that's why these are all different. So here we are into April. We had my in-laws here this week. My husband and his father and the boys went for a walk, and I had gone shopping with my mother-in-law. We sold my son's bunk bed because we were going to put a queen in his room eventually. Kids not feeling 100%. Were they just tired of school? Here's a photo of me taking a picture of a hat I wanted to get. Some photos that we got. My mom was now up visiting her new granddaughter and her other granddaughter, so she sent me some photos, so I put them in there. And then here's some more of where we'd gone for lunch with my in-laws, and then we saw this little otter in the water when we went for our walk. Let's see. Oh, here is me hitting 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Awesome. I am now on my way to 1,000, which is really exciting. And so I took a photo of the 500 and of my giveaway that I did. And I want to give a little shout out to Moira because she is the one that won. And I'm so happy. It was a random draw, but I'm so happy that she won because she leaves the best YouTube comments ever. If I'm ever having a bad day and I see that she's left me a comment, I go read it right away because she is super duper nice. And she finally got to use her prize, which I'm really excited about. I was a bit worried because the store that I had gotten it for was not getting stock in, and now they finally are again, and so I'm really happy that she gets to use it. So anyways, I just want to say hi to Moira, give her a shout out. So what else can I say? Yeah, it's just random stuff on here this week. A bottle of wine that my husband really liked. My son working on some of the stuff my son was working on. We had a real challenge with my son's teacher. Even though we're homeschooling, we're distance learning, we're associated with a teacher in a school. She was a real challenge. We had a lot of issues with coursework and how it was being assigned, and her not being organized, I guess, is probably the nicest way I can put this. And so I just took a photo of one of the issues that we had and just put that school was challenging this year. And I remember what it was all about. But that was enough for the book. I didn't need to go into my frustration, although honestly, just looking at that, I can feel my frustration. I can feel it. Gotta let it go because we're done. We don't have to deal with that teacher anymore. Anyways, and he did awesome, by the way. This is a kid who, before we went homeschooling, was barely making it through school, and his last report card for grade 7 was all A's and a couple of B's. Smart kid, just classroom setting for him is really difficult. Anyways, funny picture of a place where we got some ginger beef. We kind of randomly turned, you know, driving along. You know, we've never tried that ginger beef from that place. My husband literally, squeal of tires, turned into there. We went in and got some. I love that. My first breakfast out on our back deck was a really nice day. This is April. Yes, I know, I'm sorry. And a new cookbook that I got. And then there's a little thing in the book and it says, why do we eat this way? So for me, it's referring to why did I stop eating wheat? And the short answer, and this is her answer in the book, I feel better. The long answer, I feel way better. So I actually took a photo of that and put it on Facebook because, believe it or not, people have a huge issue with the way other people eat. Why anyone has a problem with how I eat is completely beyond me. You would not believe the grief that sometimes I get from other people. It's like me not eating wheat is somehow threatening to them. I don't get it at all. So I posted this. Oh, and hang on, I have a kid coming. One sec. Hi guys, sorry, I had a kid come in and I knew that that was going to be interruption. I realize this is probably getting really long, so I will try to pick up the pace, but hopefully just let me know what you think about the album share, if you want me to kind of go through and explain stuff or not, or whether you would rather I talk about the product that I'm using. So you let me know and then I can change it up for next time. So anyways, we're into May here. My husband was in Vancouver again for meetings, took a nice photo. This is Canada Place, which is where the cruise ships dock in Vancouver. Went to a bonfire at somebody's house and have a layout that goes along with that. This is just a silly photo of my son. This is from National Scrapbook Day, and I actually have a layout that I did for this as well. Just a nice photo my husband was taking of the sunrises in the morning on his way to work. And then this is a photo of our little tent trailer that we decided to sell, and so we just took a little photo to put in here to say goodbye. This is my crazy husband, yes, the one jumping in the back from the meetings that he went to over in Vancouver. So I think he went over Sunday for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday meetings, so that's why there's overlap there. I got some very pretty photos for Mother's Day. Mother's Day did not go as planned because, you probably can't see this, my husband has a super nasty rash. He got really, really sick after he got home and was basically in bed for three and a half days, which is really unusual for him, but he had a really bad fever. He was covered in this rash, which he tends to get when he gets viruses. He had a head cold, etc., etc. And yeah, so Mother's Day kind of got canceled until the next week. And then here's a picture of our Nespresso that finally came. We got it through air miles and it took a long time to arrive. Here's another sunrise photo from before my husband got sick. And then here's a photo of my older son. He got to go in this Voyager canoe through this program through school called Power to Be. So every week he got to go and do something really cool. So here's the next week. My older son and my husband went for a hike together, just the two of them. Here's my older son proving he can indeed eat a grandpa burger. So a grandpa burger is from A&W. I think A&W is just Canadian. But anyways, it's like 3 huge patties. So it's not like a Big Mac where they're like the skinny little teeny weeny McDonald's burgers. These are like big hamburger patties and it's 3 of them. And he ate the whole thing. So we were like, holy. Yeah. Here's my older son building some models for his earthquake section in science. Another picture of our pizza, which obviously we like. This is my older son with Power to Be again for the next week where they got to go sea kayaking. So this is him in a double kayak with a friend. And then we went out for lunch this week and surprised my younger son. He thought we were going to do errands. We picked him up from friends, thought we were going to do errands, and then we actually went out for lunch to a place he really wanted to go to because it was new. So that was fun. Getting close to the end of May, bought my kids some life jackets. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word for that. And what they didn't know is that we also had bought them little open kayaks for their birthdays, which aren't until July. But I had got these and they had seen them, so I let them try them on and then they did this funny photo. here we'd gone to the food truck festival, which is awesome. All 4 of us went to a different truck for lunch. Went for a walk, my husband and I taking a selfie. Or I've started seeing that if it's a selfie with 2 people in it, it's called an ussie. Anybody else seen that? I'm not sure what I think about that, but we'll see. I'll try it on for size. Here's more of another walk. There's all these, I probably can't tell, these are turtles, real turtles, all lined up on this log in this little pond. We thought that was cool. And of course my boys, even though they're getting older, turtles are still cool, right? Turtles are cool to me too, but to little boys, or older boys, boys in general, it's cool. And then after this walk, we ended up leaving the kids at home, and my husband and I went out for a late lunch date. And this was our view from where we were sitting for lunch. And then these are some Vancouver Island lilacs. So they're like lilacs, but instead of the blooms being like this size, they're like that size and really pretty purple. So here's one where I used a panoramic shot my husband took with his iPhone. So what I did is I went into Photoshop, and instead of ordering a 12 by 4 photo, which costs like $5 or $6 Canadian or more, I just cut it into 2 6 by 4s and then printed them that way. And that then cost me 29 cents a print or whatever it is, instead of the 6 or 5, I don't remember, $4 to $6. Can't remember how much a 4 by 12 shot is, but considerably more expensive. So that was very smart. Here's just a photo. We stopped at the Starbucks after I took my kids to the library, which we do weekly during the school year. This is just more of a filler card with a little bit of journaling. We'd gone for a walk, and we took a photo of some sea anemones in a little tidal pool. This was a cafe that we went to. My husband took this cool picture of the sign out front. This was an accidental shot. My husband, he was taking photos of the sunrise, and he accidentally hit the shutter on his phone and got this really amazing shot. So I think there's a layout for this one as well. And then this is a midweek go out for dinner shot, which we very rarely do, but so we each took photos, me with our older son and my husband with our younger son. And I thought it was nice that we had these photos, so I put those in here as well. Getting close to the end here. Sorry, this is probably a super long video. This is the beginning of June. Kids and I had gone for a walk. They were finished schoolwork at this point. And so we'd gone out for walks and things like that. This guy has spring allergies and stuff, and he woke up, his one eye was really swollen, but he was rubbing it a ton, and when he woke up the next morning it was swollen. So I gave him just some Benadryl and it went down, but yeah, took a picture of it because that's what us scrapbooking moms do, right? This is just a picture of my coffee ready for the morning. That's my favorite Nespresso coffee pod. Here's a photo of us at a local ice cream place after we'd gone for a hike, and these are hike photos, and I have layouts to go with this that I have not gotten to yet, and I'm going to. And then this is my kids. My husband was cleaning out his closet, and we discovered that some of his smaller stuff actually sort of fit our kids, so we took some pictures of them trying them on. Let me see. This is the second week of June. This is us going for a walk down by the water one day after work. It was really warm all of June and July, and so we went down for a walk by the water. There's a bit of a breeze to cool off before we went to bed. It's my husband going for paddle sports with my youngest son, and there's a layout with that. My kids went to a camp at the university all week, and this was a picture of a robot that they had made while they were there. It's me and my younger son going for a walk together. Me having a coffee date over at a friend's house after I dropped my kids off at their camp. My husband was in Vancouver again. Here's another photo of, this is a Disney cruise ship, and that same photo before of the Canada Place where you could see the sails. This is just from a different angle. And then this was us all out having pizza on the Friday after their camp to celebrate a good week. I've only got a couple left here. This is the middle of June. A nice sunrise photo that my husband took. Took my kids to the pool because they were done school, but all their friends were still in school. We went for a walk another day here to a little waterfall. Another day we went for a walk down by the water, and it was really windy that day. This is a bumper sticker that I saw. It says 99 problems, but a beach ain't one. So I thought that was really funny, especially because it was Father's Day this week. We went for this very lovely 10-kilometer hike around two lakes, and at the 7-kilometer mark is where I rolled my ankle. So I was determined to not go home until he went and got the chocolates that we were going to buy. That's where I saw this bumper sticker. It was actually in somebody's window, but at that point I hadn't realized how bad my ankle was yet. So that's why I took a picture of this, because my ankle hurt. And so it was 99 problems, but a beach ain't one, because to me a beach solves almost all your problems. It doesn't solve your stupid ankle. And so as you can see, didn't think the ankle was too bad. And yeah, it's like black. So it was bad, and it took me from here, so mid-June, all the way through until last Saturday before I could be back to almost normal on it. And so that sucks, because we like to hike a lot, and I have been trying quite hard to get myself healthier. And yeah, so really sucked that I had to put all of that on hold. Anyways, last two. This is a super long video. My husband was in Vancouver again, so I think, yeah, he had to go on the Monday after Father's Day. So we had dinner with his parents. After he was back, it's just a photo of him and I outside on our back deck in the shade, enjoying a drink after work. It's a picture of my patio baskets out on our back deck as they're starting to fill in. They looked really pretty. They're kind of scraggly now because it's been so hot. Even though I water them every day, it's been hard to keep them from getting, you know, dried out and yucky and stuff. Here's just a photo that I took of a super yummy dinner. This is a thing that my husband had attended on the Friday night, and a friend of his owns a local tech business here, and they won for best employer in the city. So my husband was really happy that he was there to congratulate them. And then this is actually a photo of my kids going through scrapbooks. Seriously, is that not every mom scrapbooker's life? Is that, or wish, is that their kids would go through their scrapbooks? So that was pretty awesome. I, of course, had to take a picture of that. Second to last week that is done. This was what I had up on the Crafty Maven Getaway YouTube channel on Tuesday. Was this layout. Using the colors from the inspiration piece. I used kind of a little bit of more toned down because this was midsummer, and I really wanted to use this piece of poolside paper. But that's what this one is from. It was my younger son's birthday. He turned 11. This picture of us going for a walk. I managed this walk, but it was too much on my ankle, and it actually put me backwards, and I ended up going to the doctor finally about the sprain. After this weekend, I was on it too much. And after this walk, my ankle swelled up like huge. So obviously I was pushing it too much. So that sucked. Played train with the grandparents and the kids. Here's the kids getting ready to use their kayaks. So it was my younger son's birthday, but we bought kayaks for both of them. And their birthdays are a month apart. So my older son's birthday wasn't until August 1st. So we made a big deal about surprising them and going down there. And we told our older son that he could go in my younger son's kayak maybe after my younger son was finished. We waited till my younger son was in the kayak and out on the lake, and then we pulled out my older son's kayak, because we could have waited a whole month, but that was a whole month of summer where he could have been using that kayak. And so we let my younger son have his day and his present and his moment, and then we let our older son have his as well. And then what we did is, well, we were supposed to go down to the lake on his birthday as well and go out in the kayaks. But that didn't happen, and you'll have to wait until I get to that spot in my project life to find out why. But anyways, it was a really fun day, and there's a layout about that too. Just a really beautiful photo that my husband had taken of the water breaking on this piece of driftwood. And then this is insanely smoke. So this is the middle of the day, but there's so much smoke really high up, it was actually blocking out the sun. So it looks like this is a sunset. This is actually middle of the day. So this was like between noon and 2 o'clock. I can't quite remember, but this is what it actually looked like. And last one, this was my video for last Sunday. This is using up the, oh my gosh, I can't even think, my Citrus Twist Project Life kit, same as the one that I just showed you, and the one before that as well. So this is July 6th to the 12th, so I'm slowly getting caught up here. This is a picture of the planters that I planted out on the back. So my hanging baskets that I showed you before are actually like up here on the railing, and this is one that I planted a little bit later. Wasn't going to, and then I decided I wanted to, so that was filling in. Here's my kids' little fundraising thing, well, fundraising for themselves because we refused to pay for a new video game console. So this is what they're fundraising. It's a picture of my kids hanging out, sort of an everyday thing. A photo of the thermometer and how hot it was. And then my husband's brother had come over. They'd gone for a big long hike. Then they'd taken the kids all paddling, and then they fell asleep on the couch at 8 o'clock at night. So that very, very long video, and hope you enjoyed. Should have warned you to go get a cup of coffee ahead of time, is my project life to date for this year. I hope you enjoyed. I will be back next week with another project life process video. And please go check me out also on the Crafty Maven Getaway channel with my Spotlight Sunday. There's a little look at my scrapbook room, and you actually see me in front of the camera instead of just my hands, which I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but I will do it anyways. And just talking a little bit about my style and my philosophy about scrapbooking, and yeah, so go check it out. And thanks so much for stopping by today, guys. Bye now.